What's happening, people? Dan Lawless here, West Ham Fan TV after Newcastle 2, West Ham United 2. And I'm here with Newcastle fan Lee from Newcastle Fans TV. Long time no speak, mate. Well, apart from the fact that I've just done your channel. But before that, good to see you, mate.
Good to see you. How's lockdown?
Yeah, not too bad. Oh, I've got the Villa game on. They've almost got a goal back. We're hoping that it's all to play for, mate. But yeah,
can't stand Villa. Can't stand Villa. I'll say it on your channel.
Yeah, you were saying it on your channel. You hate Villa, and the story behind it. I'd never heard this before. I didn't really know. Now you bring up, I sort of remember something about a banner. But yeah, you were saying about your hatred for Villa.
11 years ago, when we went down, when we had Michael Owen and everything, they had the banners up, sub on the tyne, all of that, and it was rubbing salt in the wounds. We had no history with Villa. And then a few years ago, when Rafa first come in, they done it again. So, them like, I'd love to Villa to go down. Love it, as Kevin Keegan would say.
Yeah, that's it. The old Kevin Keegan. Quite such a shame you guys can't get no banners out at St. James's Park.
No, unfortunately not.
But it's looking good. Like today, obviously, looking at the game, it was a chance for us potentially to really help cement our survival. I mean, we took a step towards it. But how are you feeling after that game? Obviously, are you feeling like a point gained, 2 points dropped? How's your sort of view going for the result?
I think it's a fair result. I think there's bits and bobs of the game where you look good and similar to us. I'll be very surprised if the pundits and so on your match of the days and what have you say that, oh, that team was clear the better side. I don't feel that from a Newcastle's perspective and a West Ham. I think you deserved at least a minimum of a point. I think that from your side, you'll probably say you're conceding the equalisers too quick. But from our perspective, we'll probably say, well, actually, we fought back very quick to get back in the game.
Yeah, no, I fully agree. Again, for us, it was disappointing how quick we conceded, and it's like Sky flashed up the stat about how many points we've dropped from winning positions. Not long after that, you go bang it in the back of the net. So it was almost written. But obviously, going into this, like a lot of Newcastle fans were talking about, obviously Maxim, who's on massive form, was looking good, completely rinsed Zabaleta, in the first fixture. I mean, how did you feel about him after this game? Do you feel like he sort of lived up to the expectations of performance, or he sort of didn't quite have the best of games, or how are you feeling about his performance today?
I thought you handled him very well. Very well. That's probably Allan's worst game since coming back out of lockdown. So credit to West Ham's defence, how they coped with him. We even tried him switching wings, and that didn't. I know he had a little bit of role to play in Almiron's goal, setting up Krath on the right wing across it, but that's his worst performance, and he looks a bit leggy, looks a bit tired, and he's out of our next game against Manchester City, which
I thought he might be coming off actually in the first half, because obviously he goes down, he's looking very pained, and he finishes the game, which fair play to him, but
he's a talent mine. He's a talent mine, and for us to hang on to him, we need the takeover to go through, because if a stupid bid comes in when the season ends and say a daft bid like 60 million comes in, Mike Ashley will accept that. Of course he will. It's 60 million from a 16 million pound profit buy. So yeah, I'm worried about keeping him, but he's a hell of a talent. Like
yeah, no, that's it. But looking at our first goal, obviously, look, we come in, build up from Fornals, Bowen comes across, another goal for Antonio, who I've been raving about. But obviously, Lascelles, who's obviously, it's weird over the years, he's been very highly rated, although fans seem to have sort of soured on him a little bit lately. His performances haven't quite lived up to his early sort of hype that you guys had for him. But I mean, I think he should have done better.
100%, he's got to do better there. I think his form's been all right actually this season. I think if there was an England B side, I think Lascelles would start, if that makes sense, because he's a couple under, but yeah, he's got to do better to gift for you. You cannot deny that, the gift of a goal and that schoolboy defending, and you're giving it to a Premier League lad, Michael Antonio, who I've said it on your channel in the past, that wherever he plays, he puts in a graft in. He's brilliant, he scores goals. So, and he got an England call up a while back, didn't get his England debut, did he? But, you can't do that in the Premier League. It's poor.
Yeah, no, that's it. And just up the other end, we almost practically sort of gift you the same. I mean, like I say, it was like you guys you know, really, again, good build-up. Again, just a bit of a switch off from the defender, but Almiron goes and scores, who I thought over the course of the game, I think was one of your best players today. I thought he was quite a threat and he had some good chances, and obviously he sticks it in the back of the net there.
Yeah, I think you've got to point the finger a little bit at Banner there, not tracking him. Darton late into the box, and there's McGee to score, and he scored a beautiful goal against Bournemouth in midweek. So the lad's on form. I'll probably agree going forward. He's probably the best today. But we've got an all right flank with Almiron. I know Saint-Maximin had a poor game today, but for me, yes, from our side, it's a great build-up. But again, from you, you'll probably point the finger and say that's poor. That's really poor.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then, you know, I sort of felt like going into halftime, because after that, like you guys, it was pretty much for a good, and up until, like we said before on your channel, up until the drinks break, it was all Newcastle, and I was fearing an equaliser. You guys had a really good spell of possession and some good chances. Like it was, the momentum was with you guys, so I thought you guys were sort of feeling like you maybe was going on to score.
I would agree, for a good 15, 20 minutes until that drinks break. We started to pick up the pace, got the equaliser, come at the worst time, and then I felt at the end of the first half, it kind of just fizzled out a little bit, the last 5, 6, 7 minutes. And then, obviously, we came in the second half, and as I said earlier, it was anyone's game in that second half who wanted the most.
Yeah, and like, obviously, going into the second half now, a lot of our fans were baffled when he takes off Lanzini, who didn't have a great game today, but he brings on Mark Noble. So as an opposition fan, like for you, when you see Lanzini come off, Mark Noble come on, what was your sort of feeling? When
you see a substitute like that, you're thinking, oh, they're playing for a draw here. Because they didn't end, you just didn't end that last, you just had a great start in the first half, but going in the second half, it looked like, okay, they're happy to take a point here. Mark Noble, obviously, he's a legend down your neck of the woods, of course he is, but Mark Noble doesn't get as forward. It was what he used to in his younger days. He's more of a leader sitting in front of that defence. So, but Lanzini, to be honest, though, hasn't really impressed me. I think he had a great first season, but I think he's fell off a little bit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Obviously, he had that really bad injury for Argentina, and I don't know if that plays a factor into it, but I just thought he wasn't at the races, and he has to be dropped. And like you said, like Noble, like we thought the same thing. We thought, okay, he's going to bring on Noble. He's going to sit back and try and shore out the point. And then we was looking at most of the game, and it's like he was one of our furthest forward players. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, you're bringing on Noble. He's playing so far forward. Like, bring on Yarmolenko. Yarmolenko could be there, and he could do a lot more. It was just baffling. He goes on, obviously, to bring off Fornals and bring on Yarmolenko, but yeah, who looked very good, but I thought Yarmolenko should have come on earlier on. But
should have started.
Yeah, should have started. Like I said, should have started, and he needs to start again the next game. But yeah, we get that goal in and go 2-1 up. Souček again, who I was buzzing, who I still say this, 3 goals in 2 games. I'm counting the VAR rule off because it shouldn't have been ruled off. 2 goals in 2 games. He's looking deadly at set pieces, and we were quite weak at attacking set pieces up until the Chelsea game. And I was hearing beforehand you guys were weak at set pieces. Yeah. So I was like, please keep that on. Please keep that going. Like, and yeah, sticks it in the back of the net. I mean, how was you feeling at that point? 2-1 down.
I thought that was it. We haven't got enough. We've got leggy. Saint-Maximin's not playing well. We've got Dwight Gale, who isn't Premier League standard, really. I know he's got a couple of goals of late, but in the course of a season, Gale's not going to get you more than 5 or 6. So I thought that was it, to be honest with you. He looks a player, mind. He looks a bit of a bargain, that Souček, mind, because I didn't know much of him when he first signed him. I don't know who. I didn't know about Czech International. He looks a bit of a bargain, mind. But I thought that was it.
Yeah. And you didn't really get much time to finish that thought before you went up the other end, while I was still cheering and buzzing and smiling. Bang, ball goes into the back, and it has to be West Ham fan John Joe Shelby, who Sullivan said isn't good enough for West Ham. And of course, ever since then, he just comes back to haunt us.
I scored against you home and away now, hadn't he? But I think from your end, Dan, you've got to look at it and think you're half asleep. You play at the whistle. Fornals is clearly playing him onside. When the goal went in, when Shelby scored, I thought, he's offside straight away. I thought, VAR is going to pull it and he's going to stay in front. But when we looked at back and seen, Pablo Fornals on keeping everybody on side, and all your defenders are just ball watching, thinking it's offside, and Shelby slots it home, and a very quick response, which is probably what we probably needed.
Yeah, that's it. Like you said, very disappointing. You know, they're not playing to the whistle, and 4 hours at the end of it plays a mile on side. So massively disappointing. But it's like at that point, it was like I did feel like someone was going to go on to win the game, and there was a point where I thought it could have been us. Like we had good chances then towards the end of it, some good chances to go and win the game. Like we forced a really good save from keepers Dubravka. Yeah, Dubravka forced a good save from him. A lot of power onto it. Just a little bit, you know, if it goes either left or right, I think that's a goal. And yeah, I mean, how did you sort of feel a bit nervous at that point? How was you feeling?
I thought you ended the game the better side, to be honest with you. And like I say, we were leggy, and I think if before the game, if you said a point for us would be all right, considering we've come back out of lockdown a much different, better side to play in a different formation. The Manchester City game, the first half in the FA Cup, was a disaster because Bruce changed it. But I felt in the dying minutes that you ended it. You get a lot of set pieces, and we're not great at them. So I was a little bit worried, but I'm actually pleased that it ended 2-2 because he's ended that game the better side for me.
Yeah. And I mean, before we go, I just want to ask you a bit about Bruce, because I remember when Rafa went, Steve Bruce signed. I remember you did a video where it's similar to the video when we signed him. Well, you was like, Steve Bruce, are you kidding me? Rafa out Steve Bruce in. Now, where we are now, how's your feeling on Steve Bruce? How do you feel about him?
Dan, every time we talk, we're always talking about both of our owners. We always are, or protesting. Both sets of fans are very similar, very passionate, love the clubs, and we've got shocking owners. I have to say I've mellowed. I think Bruce has done a hell of a job. I have to go on record and say that. If Rafa Benitez walked back, though, I would still want Rafa Benitez back because he carries the name. But fair play to see Bruce FA Cup quarter-final, 43 points, possible. I know it's probably a little bit way off now. Top 10 finish, mid-table, first season.
Geordie boy, Newcastle boy, isn't he?
Well, he is, but he moved away for years, so I don't know if you want to class him that as a Geordie of mine. But if the takeover happens, I can't see him keeping his job for long, mind. I think if you give him a short period like Mark Hughes did at Man City, and then I think he'll be out the door because they'll want a bigger name. I think so. Personally, as a neutral, I think he deserves at least a season to see what he can do with money. Like you were saying, he has done a good job overall of it, and very hard to follow. Benitez, and for any manager working under Mike Ashley or David Gold, like you've got to give them some credit if they can pull something out and pull up a decent season. And obviously, you haven't really been sucked into the relegation battle towards the end of the season. You had a little spell, I think, a little blip where it looked like you might be in there, but overall, solid season for you guys. So, definitely. That's it, mate. Well, good luck for the rest of the season and next season. And like I said, hopefully I'll get to talk to you next season as a Premier League channel. Man, Villa gan and Doon, man. Villa gan and Doon, man. Don't worry.
Yeah, with West Ham, we're always can't fully celebrate. So part of me is like, it's going to happen, but there's always that bit of pessimism. But I'm gonna be positive. It's going to happen, mate. Again,
I'm going to get loads of hate of Villa fans because this clip will probably recycle, but I don't care. Villa are going down. Sob on the halt. I'm not bitter.
Well, listen, like you guys are going to be easily a Premier League side, so nothing to be bitter about. Best place to end it on that, I guess. Thank you so much, Lee. Do check out Newcastle Fans TV. Go check out their channel. I did a video on there. Subscribe to them. Great channel. Proper Newcastle fans, and mate, we'll catch up soon.
Yeah, we'll catch up when the lockdown's out the way, and we'll see you home and away.
Nice one, mate.